Angel. Yeah, he's sleeping again.
Classic. Time to beat it.
My whole thing was on. Whoa, where's my? Okay, that's. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay, we're streaming, but that was fun. Hello, everybody, and thank you for watching, being here with us for All Who Wander Are Lost with Lars Soderlund, Chad Johnson. That's Lars Soderlund, Chad Johnson. Special guest this week. Oh my God, this is a fun episode. Kyle Adams, all the way from Portland, Oregon. Boom, right there.
Yeah. Hello.
And, this week we are playing one of the best, I mean, arguably the best game that's ever been put together. Super Mario 64. Oh man, I'm excited. This game, I mean, Kyle, you and I have talked about this game a little bit. It's so important to both of us. It's
oh
amazing.
yeah. It's definitely the first video game that like got me hooked in video games. It was the 1-2 punch of Super Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time that really like got me hooked. Like it was definitely like the heroine of video games to me.
Well, it was also back when it was like you're looking at it and going, these graphics are unbelievable. Like there's certain phases where you know you just go to Target, and that was my first introduction to this game, the Target demo station, just staring at it going, this is not real. This is not okay how good this is.
Yeah, I remember craning my neck as a kid at Walmart for sure. I like you've got all your Mario stuff in the background. I'm gonna
yeah,
a little bit here.
This is my real room here. I gotta map some controls out real quick. So this will be fun.
That's great. Yeah, there was the game, like, so I think the game has gone on demo mode on your screen, Chad, but which is fine. But like that thing where you just see Mario's, it's like everything about the game is cool. Like everything, it felt at the time like everything you want to do, you could do. You could like pull on Mario's face at the beginning. You could wait, and then he would go to sleep. Like the idea, like again, I think I mentioned, like, for me, I think it was probably Super Mario Brothers that really was like, oh, I would like to play this every hour of every day. And whichever one was for the SNES, it was like, there's a universe to explore here. And I feel like that was huge. And I think that Mario 64 just did that even more. So that's interesting. You all said Target and Walmart. I went to Boston for a trip, like some trip with my dad. And there was some specialty niche video game shop in like the basement of some stall in like an antique shop or something in Boston. And they had the Japanese import of the N64 playing Mario 64 before we knew about it. And so it was like to see it, and you know, it was like one of those things where you could like pay like a few bucks or whatever and then play it for like 5 minutes or whatever. And so my dad wasn't like gonna let me spend the whole day there. So just without, like, not in English, not understanding what the controls are, just wandering around this world that I didn't exist was fucking mind-blowing. It's so great.
Working on getting my controller going. It was just working a little bit ago. Now I've got some issues here.
That'll happen. You're trying to hook up the PlayStation to the controller, like the PlayStation controller to the PC.
Yeah.
It's tough, right? Yeah.
I mean, I just did this a little bit ago, and it was just plug and play, go. And
get one of these for your computer. These are amazing.
Oh, that's
it's a 8-bit DO. They're like $45 on Amazon. It's like weight and feel. It's a Super Nintendo controller, but it's got all the modern amenities. It's got the joystick, and it's got shoulder buttons, and then it has all the it has the motion controls and everything for the Switch. It's awesome. But it works on Switch, on phone, and on computer.
Wow, that's rad. That's really, really rad.
Yeah, it's $45, totally worth it, and it works so much better than like the classic controller for Switch. They want like $70 for it. It's kind of ridiculous. So
yeah, that's.
And this just I beat Mario Sunshine with this. That was the first game I really like played a lot with this controller, and it's so smooth. It worked fantastic.
Could you talk about Super Mario Sunshine? That's the one where Mario's like spraying water around, right?
Yeah, I do. It's definitely the hardest 3D Mario. I say it has the most rage. Yeah, it's definitely has the most rage quit moments. I finally beat it 120 or all 120 stars recently, and I hadn't done that ever. So the game's been out for 18 years. It took me 18 years to beat it, but it was. And then you don't get anything. You don't get anything at all. In Super Mario 64, you get to meet Yoshi. In Galaxy, you get to play as Luigi, which is cool. You get to do the whole thing over again as Luigi. But in Sunshine, they give you like a different ending screen. And who cares? Who the fuck cares? It's so hard and so rewarding. I was so mad after I did it, but I was glad I did it. So it's kind of rewarding to see the whole like total results page filled out. That's cool.
Yeah.
But no, Sunshine's beautiful. The music is amazing. And it's kind of unforgiving in a lot of ways, but it's totally worth it. The learning curve is a little bit harder too.
Is it that you almost die spraying water on these different things? Or is it that it's hard to spray water in the amount of time? Like, what does the fail state look like on Super Mario Sunshine?
So
Here we go.
You got to watch your water gauge, and that makes it tough. So you're always having to refill water. You also, there's certain levels where they just take away your water pack. So you've been traveling around this way being a little bit like, because you do all the acrobatic tricks from Super Mario 64, but then you have that added hover nozzle, so that gives your jumps a little more oomph. They take away the long jump though. There's no long jump, so the hover nozzle kind of takes the place of that. But there's just a bunch of things that the enemies aren't super tough, but their placement is weird, and sometimes you're not ready for them. Then like I said, those levels where they take away your water pack are insane. They're so tough. It's like ultimate like platforming too. Like you're constantly jumping off of like objects that are turning, and you really have to get your timing just right. And but those ones are really fun. I like getting like really, really stoned and challenging myself. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna smoke 2 more bowls, and then maybe this will happen.
That's great.
All right,
it took me about 2 weeks.
Nice.
I got we're all good here. Okay. Oh yeah.
Hey, very nice.
That room is so fucking rad. I just gotta say, dude, that's so cool. I really like it.
Chad, how many
happy.
years have you been collecting Mario paraphernalia that you were able to put that room together?
I mean, my grandparents grew up in Japan, and so I've just inherited this Wii over here from my grandparents. The Wii came out actually like 80 years ago in Japan, and that's why it seems so kind of clunky over here. Is because actually it's really old.
The first the first motion capture device ever made. That's great. Wow, is that you? Wow, look at you, Chad. Jesus.
Oh yeah, dude. Over 20 years of just, I don't think I've ever spent a year in my life since this game came out that I haven't played it. Also, do you guys see that? There it goes.
Yeah. Why did it? Yeah. What's the story there?
I don't know. It's an emulator.
Okay.
It's a legal emulator because I own the game. It's right over there. You know what? Hey, Avon, will you go grab me the Mario 64 game? I gotta just prove it to the internet that it's real. It's in the 64. Jeez.
The game, I mean, it was an incredible game when it came out. It was just good. Yeah. Like from that first level, like there's just so much to do. And then eventually you're like, I can't fly. And then whatever that like thing is where they're like, oh yeah, look up at the sun and you'll be magically transported to a level where you can fly. Like, what the? It was just so incredible.
Let me just grab the game off this video game shelf I have right over here next to my other video games. It's like, look at that. It's weird. It's not showing up.
Oh, that's so weird. That's a problem.
Oh, weird.
Oh, it is really there.
Because it's not a person's face. Oh, it's so tracking my face.
Okay.
Anyway, it's really here.
Yeah.
Whatever. There it is.
There it is. Yeah.
That's weird.
That's really fun.
But yeah, this first level really, I mean, you get to play the first level in the demo, but it's just as soon as you get here, you're like, oh, this is a different thing. Yeah. And it really is. And I don't know, it's just it's overwhelming how fun this game always has been, and just this is like
You said
the
it.
quintessential 3D platformer for sure.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it just
it wrote the playbook. It wrote the playbook in so many. I mean, there's still games coming out that are copying so many things that they added. I mean, this and Ocarina of Time are guilty of that. Ocarina of Time people are guilty of borrowing ideas from it. Ocarina of Time introduced the first like automatic jump on a 3D platformer, like or a 3D adventure game. So that was the first time they ever did that.
Yeah, you
and
just
I
walk
mean
up
the camera system and the lock-on, like the lock-on system, like that's never been used before.
Dude, that lock-on system is
that's
very consistently used now. Yeah.
Wow. I still forget to use it every single time. That's one of the reasons. Like, oh, I'm not that into Dark Souls. It's like, well, you have to use the lock-on system. That's like the whole thing. No.
Yeah.
Assassin's
it's something to get used to for sure.
I really like in this first level. I'm playing it right now in Babam Battlefield here. Just the cannon system. Have you? Yeah. I mean, you still don't even really have like a 3D game that has something so like fun as just shooting yourself across the. Because if you're like, oh, I don't want to fucking. Because I get lazy in games once I know a level well enough. I was like, I don't want to walk through this whole thing again. So you can literally just fucking shoot yourself to the other side of the level. It's so ingenious.
Yeah. It's great. And I always know to get like right in between aiming at the tree and the top tip of the island, and then you just go straight up, and then you're gonna land on it.
Oh, when you can slide it right at the tip, it's so satisfying. Like when you just
wow.
I'll get that wing cap.
Top of the, you can aim it just right, and they end up sliding it. One of the funniest things I heard about this level. So this is the test level that Miyamoto, the guy who created Mario, he had like a bunch of people playing it, and his son kept trying to run up that hill that you can't run up.
Oh yeah, I'll go over there. I have the wing cap on.
And he saw his son just keep doing it over and over again so much that he like questioned his son's intelligence. He's like, is my son like, what is he thinking here? Like he keeps sliding down this hill.
Also, isn't that the same? Like, haven't we all spent so much time walking up this hill over here?
Of course.
And you just slowly run up the whole thing. Yeah. Yep.
Here it is.
I'm right there. You can make it if you try. You just got to find the right angle of the polygon thing.
What I do.
Right here. There it is. Boom. Sure. Got it.
What I do is I
nice job.
Hold on here.
Miyamoto
what do we do here? Yeah, no, it's like I wish someone would have been like crawled up it and been like, you know what, go fuck yourself, man.
Chad, yeah, I mean Chad just did it. It's not impossible.
Oh, my angle's fucked up on there. I don't know why I'm trying to play it on there.
Yeah, like, hey, honestly, I still think this is the best level.
No, the first one? I really
chill.
I really dig the water levels. I've always really liked the music. The music is very calming. There's a ambience to it, you know.
Good point.
Yeah, I do like that first level though. That first level is just such a little tease about like everything you can do in the game. It's like, hey guys, look, this isn't a game like you played before. Like it's, you know, it's pretty cool.
Oh, and just jumping yourself into flying is from anywhere. You can do it from anywhere.
So cool.
Man, it's great. Yeah, so I was one of those kids, just like you see on the internet video. It was Christmas morning. I pooped my pants pretty much, you know. I opened the thing, I screamed, most likely. I got this, Mario Kart 64, Star Fox 64, and then a NASCAR game, which was a weird offshoot. NASCAR 99.
You always have to get one bad game. That's how it works.
That's true.
Any system, I always had at least one shit game. Like, we don't play that one. Are you gonna trade it in? No, I just keep it.
Yeah. A lot of the times it would be like a movie tie-in, and you would still be like, no, eventually it's gonna feel like I'm in Witness or whatever.
But I really liked the movie. That'll hold me over, right?
That's right. Yeah. Listen, this is the Ninja Turtles game that doesn't suck. This one is going to be okay. One after another after another.
Yeah.
The second one's
Power
okay.
Rangers games, man. Actually, there was a Super Nintendo Power Rangers game that was good. I like that one.
Really? Huh.
Was it the movie game?
I don't know. I just
The
remember
movie game was fun.
Side scroller beat 'em up. It was good.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. That lends itself pretty well to it.
I'm gonna beat the crap out of this. What's his name? The Bomb King, Ba-Bomb King, King Ba-Bomb.
Yeah, Ba-Bomb, King Ba-Bomb. I like. I kind of like the glitches in this level, especially like if you like get up right behind him, you can always like get him immediately.
Yeah.
Like there's a way to just kind of like sidestep him a bit.
Yeah, he just moves a little bit faster each time, I guess. Yeah.
Oh,
you got to just run away from him a little bit.
Okay.
Like this, and then he starts spinning a little bit slower.
Okay.
So I thought, you got to let him walk. That's
you got this.
Okay, that's what happens.
What's your strategy with the chain chomp? How do you?
You know what? I just let him hit me because I'll go in there and I'll just get hit and then I'll just get the thing once it hits me and then I'll get out of there because there's a bunch of red coins around there anyway. So you're gonna get your life back.
Smart.
That's how I feel.
I kind of serpentine. I serpentine and I run in circles. That's what I've been doing. He's got me. Yeah, you really with this chain chomp, especially in this level, like. I mean, I think this is the only one. He's the only one in the game, but in other games like this one, you just have to let it get you. Like it's pretty bad.
The nice thing about this game also is I don't think you can fall far enough to die unless you have low life. You can just get hurt real bad.
Yeah. And there's also ways you can combat that. If you dive right before you fall, you'll dive to the ground and you'll just kind of slide.
Yeah, or I just jumped off the top of the mountain, but I hit a wall right before I landed, and that worked to not do anything.
Nice.
Just noticed that. But yeah, my method with the chain chomp is, I just power through. Oh, he got me twice. It's probably going to kill me.
You just take your chain chomp licks. That thing, it's like 10 times your size, and you're like this of his teeth.
He's going to kill me.
I'll just let it bite me a couple times.
The old rattlesnake fix.
Lars, did you have a 64 in this game?
Oh, yeah.
I assume? Everybody did.
What did I get? I got Mario, and my telling myself the game was good was Wave Race 64. I was like, no,
it was so fun looking,
but it wasn't that fun.
Yeah, it's very pretty. Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's the thing. It was like that era, and I think you could also include the PlayStation 2 in this a little bit, but in a way it was the most beautiful video game era because like here, like they figured out a way, like Metal Mario is fucking beautiful, you know? Like that's like, it's perfect. Like you don't want it to be any more complex. You don't really want it to be any more simple. It's just this beautiful kind of like glow, and water looks great too. Like we just saw on our screen, we just saw the that like water thing that looks okay. It's more like I think about, well, this is Super Nintendo, but like Glacier or Glacius in the Killer Instinct.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like a lot of games were able to do that like beautiful icy blue color, still polygons, but like enough texture that it was good. And it's like, this is like a video game can be really artistically beautiful. I like pixels too, but there's something really special about this.
It's like the video game equivalent of the movie Frozen, which can go fuck itself. But that's a different thing.
You can tell you have a daughter. You're like, man, fuck.
My problem is everybody told me, hey, if you like Tangled, you're gonna love Frozen. And I was like, okay. And I love Tangled. It's a great movie. And then I saw Frozen and I was like, this is cheap. This is cheating. The ice costs like half the effort and money to make. And this whole movie is ice. And Tangled has like water scenes and hair stuff. And those are the hardest things to animate. And it's just like, it's it's not two freaking colors the whole time, and a story about, but hey, sister, I love you. Our parents are dead. Come on, that's cheating. It's cheating.
Yeah. I'm a big Tangled fan too. I like the Paul F. Tompkins cameo and the whole thing. It's really, it's good. It's really the forgotten. Is it Pixar or is it just Disney?
No, Disney.
It's Disney. It was their first because they transferred. They only do the CGI animation now. That was their first CGI one where they're like, or not their first one, but their first like, okay, this is what we're doing now.
Gotcha.
I feel like Tangled and Moana were just so much better than Frozen, like the one that came before and the one that came after. It's like, and they don't get anywhere near the hype that Frozen does. I don't think they were as marketable, is what it is.
Right.
Yeah, I bet you're right.
Yeah.
Another thing about this game that I love is sometimes it just gives you levels that's like, hey, you want to just slide down a big thing? And I'm like, yeah, I sure do.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and the music in the slide just it gets you.
Yeah, it's great. And you know what? You know what I just did? I forgot which Peach window it was. That was embarrassing almost.
It's the third one. Yeah. How the fuck?
Yeah.
How do you forget those things?
Get my blue coins.
Nice. God, yeah. So it's still fun. Just watching, it's fun.
Yeah. There's the secret hallway in this one. I always miss it, but there's also another one in the ice one that I always mess up when I try it.
Huh.
Oh, the secret in the slide.
Yeah.
I just jumped down the Peach slide right now. Did you know there's a secret star on this Peach slide? If you end up getting a time that's 20 seconds or less, you end up getting this. I did that for so long, and I thought it was just another one of the stupid rumors about the game that isn't true. But then I finally got it because there's like a million stupid rumors that aren't true about this game. You guys remember that? You can play as Luigi. You can.
Yeah.
You can do that.
I remember that one.
I feel like that's an indicator of how fun the game was, though. Like it was just it seemed like anything could happen.
That is very true. Yeah, they have there's a lot of secrets that you don't expect to happen for sure.
Yeah, I'll do one right here real quick.
It's like like you could just make a linear castle where you're just going from thing to thing. I guess they probably would say that's what they did before, but like this is like. It's like a castle where you have to conquer the rooms, but half the time the rooms aren't even the point. It's like some weird metaphysical, like this, like what space is this existing in? Like, what logic system does it make sense to look at a star and then, just, it's just nuts.
Well, in a game where you're eating mushrooms all the time.
I like the little details in the I don't know why, but there's something about the swimming noise that I really like. The whoop, whoop.
Yeah, that's a really just a calming, familiar noise and rhythm.
Yes.
Totally changed it in the DS version and it drove me fucking crazy. I was like, this isn't something off. And I couldn't pinpoint what it was. I was like, something upset me about it. And then I was just like, oh, it's the fucking swim noise. Like I had to analyze it very closely.
Can I still get the rabbit even if there's 120 stars? Is the rabbit still active to go chase?
I don't believe so. I think he's only hanging out. I think he's only in that underground area, right? Like under the castle in the basement.
Yeah, I'm down there, but I think once you catch him, then he's docile. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that's possible. I can't remember. I gotta head back down there.
Yeah. What another cool thing.
Yeah, I don't see him at all.
Yeah.
Oh, they said that was like one of the first things they developed to really figure out what they were doing with the game. Was it started off just with that rabbit, and then they're like, okay, well, we're gonna keep the rabbit in here, because this was fun chasing him around.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great.
So, I think we keep saying fun in terms of the slide and now the rabbit. Like I think that the sense of fun is just unbelievable. It's the figuring out. Okay, so like the idea of the rabbit, right? That's saying like, okay, maybe it's just fun to be in this world. Like, you don't even have to be in a mission. You can just be like running and getting used to this kinetic feeling of like moving around and figuring out if it's faster to jump or to walk or to run or whatever. And it's like, yeah, that's everything about this game is fun.
That's totally true. And then there's
so many. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, there's just certain things like there's that downstairs before you get into the room with the rabbit area. There's the room that it's all slanted like this, and there's a window that's kind of like that. That's oh, my hands on my real background here.
There we go.
There's a window you have to jump under it, and you actually can get under it. They made it so it's hard, but not impossible. I like little things like that, like the I guess they're glitches, because there's the glitch where you can backwards jump all the way up the stairs through the door that doesn't let you go through.
Yeah.
Or I forget what they call it, the infinity jump or something. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to watch speedrunners just completely break the physics of the game. It's insane. Like, I was like, how the fuck did they'll like side flip and stuff, and it's honestly like watching them has encouraged me to really fuck around with the physics in the game. And you're like, Mario is like the most acrobatic video game character ever.
Yes.
Like almost more so than like ones that you would think would be. But he's a stocky fucking Italian plumber. Like how is he
keep up with Nathan Drake?
Yeah, dude, it's like, and he's obviously got sleep apnea. He always falls asleep the second he stops moving. Like he's not healthy. I don't know how he's like fucking Olympic gymnast level like parkour. Like,
yeah, he has a special jump for when you're running one way and want to run the other way. That's incredible.
Oh, that's a good jump.
Yeah.
That vault, and that honestly, like that's the beginning of a lot of the tricks that you do. Like you can vault up and get a little more distance. And that's what's so fun about the later games is they've kept all of those mechanics from the original 3D one here. Like in Odyssey, you have the cap that you can throw, and that gives you a little more distance. Sunshine had the hover nozzle, obviously, on the jetpack, and then Galaxy had the gravity. So you've got all these other, things, and then you can really mess with the physics. It's always been like incredibly fun and innovative,
That's rad.
What do you remember one of the stars that really gave you the most grief that you in this game?
Oh, in the original run, like let's see.
There's one level that I really don't like it. It's this one. Let me see what it's called real quick.
I had a lot of trouble in the rainbow level at the end.
Wet Dry World.
Wet and Dry. Oh,
I remember that, where it's going up and down.
Yeah, and it's just
you have to get in the painting at different levels, and it affects the water level in the actual level.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So if you jump at the top of the painting, the level's flooded. You jump at the bottom, and it's at the bottom of the level.
I don't even know if I ever realized that. That's incredible.
Yeah, they put a lot of detail into this. Yeah, that is a very frustrating level, though. This level's weird because if you look at the top of the screen, they've got like a actual photo of a like city, and it's the only use of it in the entire game, I think, of an actual photo. So they just got someone use like a bad JPEG of a town or like a giant city. It's really weird.
It is really weird. I was looking at Nintendo backgrounds for no reason whatsoever earlier, and one of them was just, here's all the skyboxes from Mario or Mario 64, and here's how weird they look. And it's a bunch of weird ones. Never even noticed. Like there's Sky, of course, but there's just a bunch of, like, this one popped up in there, and some of the like black and green stuff that I never even noticed before.
Oh, the Bowser levels are wild, especially the first one.
I really like that enemy that you saw a second ago, where their whole job is to scoop you up and then flip you. Like
those motherfuckers. Those are my okay. That's got to be my most annoying feature in this. The most annoying villain. I hate them because you'll just be like not even focusing on them, and if you don't take them out right away, they'll get you. Like you're just like, I just want to stand here and look around for a second. They're like, nope.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to use them to your advantage, which is also a bummer.
Yeah.
You have to keep them alive.
Yeah.
There's a whole part of Sunshine where you just get thrown by these guys, and they call themselves like tossers or something like. And I just kept laughing about it. I was like, "Oh, they're tossers." It's fucking hilarious.
Nice.
Yeah, this level was tough. There's a lot of timed events in this level. Like you gotta unlock that one door and swim through a certain part of it. Like that part was really rough. Yeah, I had some trouble with this one as a kid for sure. But I think the rainbow level was still the worst for me, with the magic carpets and stuff.
Yeah, that one really hard because you just got to stay on, and there's a lot of adjusting the camera and perspective things because you have to jump off of the moving carpet, right? A lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of like very sketchy platforming because everything is like little planks and shit. And if you don't land it just right, or I don't know about you guys, but in this game I do a lot of like anxious jumping when I'm up really high, and then I like over jump, and I'm like, like I wouldn't have fucked up if I wouldn't have choked. But there's a lot of that, a lot of choking in this game.
I like the clock level also, because wherever the hands are on the clock when you get in there is like where it's going to help you out inside the level.
Oh, that's another level. Yeah, every level in last area is really rough, actually. My favorite thing, and it's only something that's in Mario games, I haven't seen it in any other game, is when you barely clip a platform and the camera goes all wonky and he's like,
oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's just like, and you're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, he has like little freakouts, which I love. He's very emotive, Mario.
Yeah, that's right. He's an anxious little guy.
He his voice, I've always said his voice reminds me if you took Borat and then put it in Mickey Mouse falsetto is what
that's very good.
Yeah. Oh, also, so when you get 120 stars, you get to do the thing with the cannon and the roof.
Yeah, and you get to meet Yoshi.
Yeah. That's a pretty special moment that I'll show everybody because it hasn't happened on this save yet.
Wow.
Nice.
But I have 120 stars here. And I will be honest with everybody. I did not achieve these 120 stars. This was a downloaded save. Yeah.
I haven't beaten this one all the way through on the Switch yet because I've done it so many times that I just was like, I'm gonna focus on Galaxy and Sunshine first. But
so on the Switch with the controls, it's two sticks, I assume.
Yeah.
Does the other stick control the camera like a C button does, or is it smooth?
Yeah, the other stick is like your C buttons, basically. Okay. The Z, what would have been the Z button on a 64 is the L trigger, and then the R trigger works obviously the other way. But I mean, it's pretty fluid. It really works, especially with this Super Nintendo controller. I really like it. I don't really like it on the Joy-Cons because the Joy-Cons for the Switch, they've got a drag thing on them, so sometimes they just do whatever the fuck they want to do, and that's terrible for Mario 64 when you're like standing on a platform. You're like, fuck, what the? So I have to play with the Super Nintendo controller for this one.
I'm gonna head up to the top of the castle real quick. Here we go. Oh, I did it wrong. Nope. No, I didn't. Cool. Yeah.
One cool thing they added was you can use the D-pad on the Super Nintendo on this one, on the Super Nintendo controller. So that gives you a little more control to move. You can use the D-pad on the controller.
Wouldn't that be kind of hard because it's only got like 8 at max directions?
Yeah, I mean, you'd think it would be, but it actually gives him. He moves a little more. Since he moves kind of wonky in general, you don't over anticipate the move, which is cool.
That's cool.
This part's for people who thought that the Yoshi was a rumor also.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was another one of them. There was another rumor that you could somehow you could ride Yoshi if you got so many lives or something. I can't remember exactly what the details were, but
it's been so long since our last adventure. They told me that I might see if I waited here. He's been waiting a while.
Yeah.
But I just about given up hope. And then he defeated Bowser. Right on, sweet. I have a very special message. It's, and then he gives you a bunch of thanks for playing the Super Mario 64 team. And then he gives you, I think it stops at 100 lives.
Yeah, he gives you 99. Yeah, he gives you 99 lives.
It's interesting that he would orally relay a message that is signed.
Also, Yoshi works with Y2K as well. He can only go to 99. He can't give you 100 lives. He's not Y2K compliant yet. This is 96.
Zach from the internet says Ligma. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, maybe
Ligma?
Ligma.
Ligma. I've heard that before. I don't know what that is.
If you Ligma butt. Ligma, yeah, he wrote Ligma balls.
Oh, is that? God damn it.
Yeah.
Have you done the camera trick where you kind of stop the camera where it's at and you can watch Mario get scaled down?
Oh yeah, and then he like loses his polygon count.
Yeah, and it looks like a kid drew him poorly. It's really funny. I'm looking at that right now.
Where's the spot that you can do that? Well,
side of the castle is probably the best place to do it, I would say, because you can get a lot of distance. But you change the settings in the options, and then you can stop the camera and just walk away from it. And as long as you're moving, they won't completely scale him. So if he's moving far away, he'll have the like really obtuse look to him.
What do you mean options?
God, he's just a bunch of shapes.
What do you mean options? Like there's options where you can just have the camera be stationary, or is it that a switch thing?
Oh, options for the camera to be stationary. You have to be in a level to change it. That's right. Sorry. You have to be in a level, yeah. And then you go outside to the castle. But you can do it. You can do it in a level too, as long as it's not a super confined space.
So this castle right here and the whole area outside of it. Have you ever played Super Mario or like Super Mario 64 Kart? Sorry, Super Mario Kart 64.
Mario Kart 64. Yeah, they did a little side area of one of the I believe it's the Peach Raceway or the Royal Raceway.
Raceway.
I used to drive into that. I used to drive into that all the time as a kid, and I would lose the race because I was like, "Hey, I'm driving around Mario 64." And
like, who cares about racing anymore? I'm in the other game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I did that a lot, and it used to drive people crazy. They're like, "Finish the race." I'm like, "Dude, I'm just driving around the castle now. I'm
trying to find
more chill."
She's here somewhere. She said she baked a cake for me, but hey, guess what? No cake ever in this game. Dear Mario, I've baked a cake for you is the first line of this game.
Is that's not the cake is alive from Portal, is it?
No, maybe that's from that could be that could be referencing this.
Dude, it's kind of crazy that his entire motivation of this was originally to get dessert. A huge fucking ant. Yeah. He's on like the biggest ant ever. He's like, "Man, I just wanted cake. I guess I'll save the fucking planet." Like, I don't know. If there's time.
Yeah.
I just did the slide and got the Phantom Star for the time.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Nice. Oh yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna go to a Bowser area.
Yeah, do it. Fuck him up.
Which was your favorite Bowser fight?
I think I like the second one a lot. The lava. That one's really hard. Mm-hmm. But I like the lava levels because they're well designed.
Yeah, they definitely are. Because you really can't fuck around with your movement at all. you don't have much freedom, but they force. It's like a forced perspective almost.
Yeah, definitely. It's like playing God of War real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The first Bowser level is so cool, and it's a whole mind blowing thing when you finally get there because it's Peach on a painting, and then you walk toward it, and it just fades into Bowser, and as soon as you notice that, you fall onto the floor, and it's like, here you go.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And then you're on a piece of a Lego. That always like looks like a Lego to me.
Oh no, I said the same. Yeah, I said the same thing as a kid. I was like, why the fuck did we land on a Lego?
Okay, Metal Mario, unstoppable.
Yeah, he's so cool.
Running through the flames. Yeah,
And
Metal
that
Mario
loud,
is definitely
and
the coolest power.
that kind of like early house music or whatever that plays when he's like, wop,
Yeah.
wop, 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 wop. But it's got the like extra layer of like a Pet Shop Boys remix or something.
I really liked the music in the Bowser levels as a kid. I used to record them with a little tape recorder, and I would listen to it on the bus on my Walkman.
That's awesome.
It was a cool theme. I always really enjoyed it. And then they redid it with an actual orchestra on Mario Galaxy, which was cool. So they've got like a remastered orchestral version of it. Like,
that's incredible.
The nice thing is Nintendo has made every Mario game into nostalgia for Mario, like the last one you played, pretty much.
They really do.
All the songs are just like everything's a remake of the last thing. And it's like, oh, I remember this, I remember that. But when their first example of the thing that they're paying homage to is so perfect, it's fine. You just want to play more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally right. We're very guilty of that. They kind of are just holding a mirror up to their own stuff. Sometimes you're like, all right, but I mean, Nintendo is definitely a genius company for getting people to spend money on things they already own.
Right.
Yeah,
yeah.
I've done that so many times because of Nintendo remastering something or redoing something.
Well, you know what I didn't even think about until you said that thing about the familiar music is that like when you think about Nintendo or Disney, you think about like nostalgia and like a feeling of like total comfort and innocence. I don't know, except for like the movie WALL-E about how humankind will never actually conquer global warming, but like most of it is just about like being comfortable and happy. You know what I mean? And I feel like we think that's like a side effect, but I wonder if that's always just an intentional part of it. Like, I wonder if they have a name for it in Disney HQ, like that specific type of comfort and nostalgia. Because I read this fascinating movie when I was studying film, I've read this fascinating book. It was all about movie trailers throughout the decades. And but the most interesting thing was the person said, the job of a trailer is to create nostalgia for something you haven't done yet. And which is like so good and mind-blowing.
Job of a trailer?
The job of a trailer is to induce nostalgia for an event you haven't yet experienced.
Okay.
And I think music is a big component because that's why no trailer is doing like new crazy music unless it's trying to do something really wild. Most trailers that are trying to get you like in and kind of amped, it's usually a really, really familiar song.
Yeah.
I bet that's true for Nintendo too.
Yep.
Yeah.
They said that actually that Christopher Nolan fought really hard to never have Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones because they wanted the studio. Apparently, WB was chomping at the bit to get them to have Batman with Paint It Black, and he's no, I'm not doing that. So, so give like definitely kudos to him for not having that happen.
Oh, that's awesome.
You can definitely someone made a trailer with it, but you can definitely like. But that's really crazy. Like I never thought about it that way, but that's a really good way to put it. That it is like creating nostalgia. And then using old songs would definitely be a direct link to that for sure.
Right.
So, like that's almost like doing their job for them.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I think that's true. Did you know that this is just more trivia, but it's my favorite Christopher Nolan fact. Do you know he's colorblind?
I did not know that.
Yeah, and that's why his movies are all like tones of shit instead of actual like colors, Like if you think about like what's the most colorful Christopher Nolan scene, it's like it doesn't really exist. Maybe the Joker, not really.
Yeah, I was gonna say Joker's face. Or his suit. But you're right.
Is it just me or is Dark Knight is very blue and Batman Begins is very brown?
That seems right.
Something I've noticed. they're like the filter in Batman Begins is kind of like a browny orangish,
Yeah.
and then Dark Knight is all blue.
Yeah, you're totally right about that. Yeah, that's actually really interesting.
I like how Bowser tells you the way to defeat him. He's like,
Yeah.
"You better not run around behind me and grab my tail."
You better. I've placed every bomb here very carefully. You better not throw me on them. That would be really bad. I can't believe you threw me on them. You're an asshole. Favorite. Oh my god. Yeah, I always thought that even as a kid, I was like, this is a little convenient. It's a little too convenient.
In this meaningless polygon universe, this feels like, yeah, it's true. It's totally true. Nice. Oof, got him.
Oh,
Did
just
the
one?
Did the
I
yellow
like that
ones
you fight them 3 times in this one. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like
Did
they
the
made
yellow
it.
ones... Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go on, Kyle. My bad.
Oh no, I like the fact that you fight them 3 times. That was always pretty cool. Like they don't do that in the rest of the games. Like Sunshine, you only get to fight him at the end, and he's like in a hot tub. He's in a hot tub, and you have to ground pound 4 or 5 spots of the hot tub, and then he's done. It's so weird.
That's crazy. What happens in the Nintendo for Super Mario, the Bowser's in Super Nintendo? Because he's in that weird flying cup with the smiley face, right?
Oh, that little saucer thingy.
Yeah. Do you fight him multiple times?
No, you fight his relatives.
Okay.
Yeah,
I want to play those games again.
Trump. He's like Donald Trump. He gets his family into the club. He's like, you get him, Eric.
Ivanka Koopa is like, no, we should give a shit about some of this. He's like, fuck you. Yeah.
There's actually a really crazy story on how they got the names for all the Koopalings, is what they call them, the Koopalings. A lot of them are based on rock and roll singers. Like there's Iggy Pop is one of them.
Yeah.
Roy is based off of Roy Orbison. I forget all the other ones, but it's really funny. It's like, oh, I can see all these things now.
Yeah, so there's Lemmy. There's Lemmy. I think
is
that Motorhead really?
Yeah, Motorhead. Yeah.
Yes. So there's Lemmy. There's Ludwig von Koopa.
Okay.
Larry Koopa.
Yeah, that was Beethoven as Ludwig, right?
Okay. That's right.
And then Roy Orbison. Yeah. And then there's Morton Koopa Jr.
Yeah.
Morton. I forget who Morton's supposed to be.
Wendy O. Koopa. And Iggy Koopa. That's great.
I can't remember who Wendy and Morton are based off of.
Morton's based off of Morton Downey Jr., which is, I think I know that.
Like Robert?
No, well, no, I don't think so. Wait, let me see. Wait a minute, is that him? Jesus. Oh, what the fuck? What? I don't know why he would be named after him. That seems like a weird choice.
Yeah.
Because it's a talk show. That's a talk show, and the guy's real conservative. That seems not that Nintendo-ish.
He's like the one Koopaling who won't wear a mask.
Yeah. He's got that huge mouth. No masks fit him, but he pretends like it's because he's too proud. You know, he's like, I mean, I would wear one even if they did fit. Yeah.
It's interesting that Baby Bowser, or whatever his name is always wearing a mask. He was ahead of the time.
That's a great point.
Yeah. No, he wore one in Sunshine.
Oh, okay. Wendy Koopa is from Wendy O. Williams from the punk band The Plasmatics, who I never listened to. Were you all Plasmatics fans?
Haven't heard of them.
I haven't heard them.
They look pretty wild.
I'm gonna go find me some very familiar face with this penguin fella.
Did you know there's an extra penguin on top of that house, and she's like, if you try and bring her, because it's like the game is basically going, like if you talk to her right away, she's like, "Oh, find my penguin," and then you're like, "Oh, it's right there on the roof." And then she's like, "That's not my fucking penguin. That's an ugly baby penguin. You get it out of here." Like she's like, she does not want that penguin in her little puddle. It's so,
Oh
so.
yeah. So she's at the bottom. Oh, there's also I love the guys that have the flower on top of their heads. They look like snowmen, and then you
Oh, those
spin.
give you a little woo.
And you, especially in this level, there's one right at the beginning, I think, and you can spin and you can float down behind the level to get that secret star back there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's dope.
How
many times have you fallen off a bridge trying to teleport?
Oh, in that level, yeah, I slide a lot because of the ice. I've slid off that part a bunch as a kid for sure. I used to love diving off from a high spot into the snow though and getting him buried with his feet sticking out like this.
Yep.
Like that was always a fun. That blew my mind when it first happened because it was like not only did you make an insane 3D game, you made like all of these interactive features that could only exist in this dimension. Like that was the coolest thing because they went above and beyond for sure when adding those little details. Like I haven't seen a game like that where you can dive into the snow. Like that's it's kind of fucking crazy.
No, you're totally right. So what was okay? So I heard this really interesting thing in the I think it was the Besties, that video game pod, but Christopher Plant, who's always says a lot of smart things about video games, he said that like the Mario games are all different genres. So like Mario 2 is all weird because it's like a play, right? Like the things open, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, and the Mario always say like 3 is.
That one's got curtains too.
Yes, yeah, and it's and you get behind the level anyway. So it's I'm wondering if we thought that this was. I guess this is a movie, right? Mario 64, because that's why the guys,
Cloud guy. So Lakitu or whatever his name.
Right.
That is interesting. I never thought of it that way.
Right.
I just figured they had to have an excuse to have, a camera there. And they're like, well, let's put a guy there.
Yeah.
With a fishing pole.
I mean, it all still works, so that's kind of weird, but it's like, yeah.
What if it's a conspiracy and it's Bowser filming? Because those guys are usually bad guys.
Yeah, they do Bowser
Mario. Yeah, dude, fucking.
Yeah. How about this one? How about like, I don't know, this hasn't worked out yet, obviously, but like, what if Mario 1, which is completely two-dimensional, right? Like, what if that's like his Zapruder film, right? Like, that's a photograph where he's like capturing all the evil of Mario. Look, he like tramples my people, and he's like crawling around in shit in this sewer. Like, I have the photos, I have this game, and then that doesn't work. So it's like, okay, I'll put it like a play. It's like, yeah, you have to explain how you actually got Mario to participate, though. That's kind of like another thing. Although there's some weird ass documentary, as I understand it, where it's like the story about some guy in Iran who like he like conned a family into believing he was this businessman or something. Something that was like all this crazy stuff, like stole money from them. And then I think he or somebody else decided to make a documentary of it. So he went back and had them like dramatize how it happened, but it's the real people. Like
how
remember
weird.
How he swindled you? Okay, yeah. And I guess it's not unlike like when fucking Werner Herzog got the prisoner of war to go back to where he was a prisoner of war and wear his like mask and like the shit they were doing when they were torturing him. And he's like, okay, how's it feel? It's like, you're so bad. Like to do that to somebody.
That's fucked up. Like I don't know who would want to be in the reenactment. They're like, man, these reenactment actors suck. They're not capturing the emotion. I was much more upset here. I'll show you. It's just like that's insane.
I try to stay away from people who are in wars. I get in trouble.
It's tough. It's a toughie. Yeah. When you make them reenact their experiences.
Yeah. I asked a Holocaust survivor to see their tattoo when I was in high school, and I got in trouble for that.
Did you see like an episode of that on like fucking Joan of Arcadia or something, and you're like, oh, is it okay to do this?
No, I had seen movies, and I was like, I'm pretty sure they have tattoos. I want to see what number they are.
Like you're collecting numbers of people. It's rough.
What do you? Oh shit! You're number 3. Whoa!
Oh, 3.
Yeah.
That shit's so fucked up. And then anyway, yeah, whatever.
Were you gonna say the Holocaust is fucked up?
Yeah, I mean that's like the understatement of the year. But in terms of, I was thinking about, you were mentioning the numbers, the technology stuff. Like I think, if I'm not mistaken, all of their business machines are IBM, right? Like the stuff that tallies and like a lot of those things.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. I think this is probably a little too rich for a video game podcast.
Yeah.
Although it does have its own Wikipedia page.
I mean, hey, we could play Wolfenstein later.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay, Wolfenstein.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, HuffPost has stuff about it. IBM's 12-year alliance with the Third Reich was revealed in my first book, IBM and the Holocaust. Blah blah blah.
Huh.
Yeah, crazy. So the yeah, this is probably my second favorite level, I think, overall.
It's just great.
It's got the slide, but it's also got other platforming. Oh, he's on the winter still.
Oh yeah.
What's it? Oh, it's I just paused. Cool mountain.
Did you guys throw the penguin off the ledge? Let's be honest here.
I did actually. I threw it right off the level.
I always threw him off after I got the star, which was even more fucked up, because then you would watch his mom get upset, but you pulled him out of the pond, and you're just like, nope.
That's amazing.
The first time I tried to do it, I just set him down next to the ledge, and I accidentally fell off, so I died. So I had to go back into the level and do it again.
You had to avenge your death. Like, I'm definitely killing this penguin now.
Oh yeah,
he made me look like a fool. This bird that can fly made me look like a fool.
There's some really good platforming in this level. That's a lot of wall jump and triple jump based.
Oh, when you got to get that star that's on the little ice.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that one. That one was tough for me as a kid.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to beat.
I think that's what Chad's trying. Oh, almost kind of.
So yeah, what a bummer for so many other games that this is a launch title, pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's a launch title.
So then it's a launch title, and it's like the only game that really matters on the system.
Yeah.
On 64? Yeah, I would say it's I mean there's about 5 64 games that really like shaped gaming. I would say like GoldenEye, Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, obviously, Smash Brothers, and there's probably some other ones too, but those are probably the ones I would think of. Like I have, like, you have to own if you have a 64. You know?
I think Smash Bros 64 on like virtual console played with a GameCube controller is the perfect Smash Bros experience.
I have it on the Wii, and that's how I play it. It's pretty great.
That's how I played it for years.
This makes me want to boot up the original Smash Brothers. That game is so much fun.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
They've been selling. I've been looking online. They sell modded 64 carts on Etsy now, and they've got something called Smash Remix, and it's like they put in some of the new characters and stuff.
Wow.
And they changed it around a little bit.
That's cool as hell.
Yeah, that's really tempting.
They got a lot of weird ones too. The carts, they go anywhere from like $35 to like $50, I think, depending on what's on it.
That's really nice.
There's one called Waluigi Has a Taco Stand, and it's a Super Mario 64 mod, and it's literally the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And you can even tell that it's Waluigi from like the top up view because he's wearing a sombrero. It's really weird. I kind of want to buy it. It's like $50.
That's incredible. I mean, that would be
Yeah.
that would be a fun thing to do, to change a game and to just make it like a cartridge. Like, I changed this like using some open code, but you are going to play it and have no options as to what you do. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this isn't like what was that, Gary's mod for Half-Life, where it's
Yep.
like, oh yeah, do whatever. It's like, I don't want to do whatever. I want to be told what to do, to be able to like, yeah, make
Exactly.
one of these. That'd be so good. Really
Yeah,
curate
that's
the
something that's
experience.
it's on the rise now. For like, I'd never
Huh.
seen it before, and I guess it's on the rise now. Actually, getting it on the cartridge, and it looks like they just 3D printed one, and
Oh yeah.
um they put a SD card into it, and they had another one, it was Mario Kart 64, but it's all Dragon Ball Z characters. They had GoldenEye with Sonic characters. That one was kind of cool. I was like, that seems kind of interesting. But I want to get my hands on one of them and do a review or something online. I think they're all pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, that'd be
idea.
awesome.
Yeah.
They have I wonder if they have ways to mod a 64 into being online multiplayer.
They probably will at some point. They'll probably get to a point for sure. I saw someone on computer did a mod of Ocarina of Time that was multiplayer, and that looked fucking insane.
Wow.
They blended it with a Halo style shooter almost, and it was nuts. I was like, this looks like a lot of fun.
I got in trouble because I cheated on the race with Koopa the Quick.
Oh, wow! He caught you.
How'd you do that?
Yeah, you should, Kyle. You should have seen it. He had this doctor take out half of his blood before the race, and then inject it with, and then while he was running, the doctor was doing it. So this Koopa he had a good complaint, honestly.
Did Mario buy his shoes from Sonic? Is that what he's like Sonic shoes on? He's like, hey, I saw him. I'm not with Mario. I've met Sonic before in the Olympic crossover game. I know who he is.
Oh, we're aware of each other. That's like the interview.
I have that game.
Oh, the Olympic crossover. Those games are fun. I played it with my niece, and they're kind of just mindless, but I enjoy them. Like
that's when it's a good way to play. I play with my daughter and go like, okay, and she's like, oh, I'm winning, and she's just going like this, just moving her hand back and forth like crazy. Like, yeah, cool.
You know what she might like is have you ever played WarioWare? WarioWare is fucking insane. It's so insane. Yeah, and it's perfect for like just pick up and go and then be like, I'm done. It's very user friendly.
Yeah. So if you had a favorite level, what do you think it would be, Kyle?
My favorite level, hands down, it's probably got to be either Dire Dock or that first level. I forget what the first water level is called.
Okay.
But I love the music in the water level. I put it on to sleep sometimes, like just like in the background. I've listened to people play acoustic guitar versions of it, piano versions of it. I like the challenge of it too, like just trying to get to a certain area or explore it without drowning. Like
yeah,
it just adds an extra level to it for sure. And exploring, I've always been drawn to water in video games. Like that was the first thing I did when I got my 360. Was I had Oblivion, and I didn't even I just jumped right into the water. I was just like, I just want to swim around for a little while. Like just it's very captivating.
That's a great choice. Yeah, I mean, it makes full use of the 3D model. I mean, you could just do, you got the whole thing. The Nintendo water levels are great. I always remember the Donkey Kong water levels fondly. I didn't like getting lost, but it was
the aquatic ambience. That's the other thing. That song, I really enjoy the aquatic ambience song, but I was breaking it down the other day. I was listening to it. And I'm like, this is like sexy R&B porno music almost. And one thing I noticed, I really, really enjoyed Koji Kondo. He's the guy that composes all the Nintendo music. He's like the John Williams of Nintendo, and he I think that's another reason, like we were talking about, like Disney and like all these other iconic things. I think that's why they're so iconic, is because his music really adds another layer to it. But he does this thing, and I'm not great with music theory, but he does this thing where it's always ascending or descending notes, but they're all kind of in the same. It's like a circle. Each song kind of is like a circle. It goes within and of itself, and then it like repeats, and that's kind of his style of doing it. Also, they came up with the Zelda theme in like a night, which is really insane to me. I couldn't believe it, because they originally, on the original gold cart that came out, they had it set, some kind of classical song was set for the Zelda theme, but then they got the rights revoked like right before the game came out, so they had to like scramble and make a theme.
Wow.
But he's extremely talented. Like, he definitely, like, I think he is to blame for like all of the nostalgia level of this stuff, because like obviously the innovative gameplay too, but just it's a whole package. Like I honestly would argue that Nintendo is like the most artistic of the video game companies, for sure.
I think that's right, and I think that, like, yeah, I mean, you could definitely tell that's a great way to put it, Kyle, because like I grew up with a Mac, and I was always like, man, fuck, like, it was like there was no support for any video game ever. Like, we just always got weird shit like MDK or whatever. Anyway, but that was a little bummer, but it was like control. You know what I mean? It was like Steve Jobs and then people after him just like wanting fucking control the box. And I think Nintendo does that too, but there is something very artistic about that, right? Like the idea of, you know, like if we do this, we could do it right. But if you just license out and just make any game, it'll like devalue the platform, that's a really interesting idea.
Well, that is exactly what happened with the Wii, and the term shovelware just became really popular and widely used.
Right. That's a great point. I forgot about that.
Because I mean, the Wii had some great stuff, but at the same time, they stopped their whole whatever it was, where they were really strict on letting people make a game and like the whole process.
Third party support. Yeah. Yeah. There's way too many like cooking mama type games on the Wii. Like, I don't know. I do really admire them, because they kind of remind me, they're a very smart business. They kind of remind me of like a movie studio, because a movie studio has to put out a lot of fodder that they know will reach everyone, so they can do their more dedicated passion projects. So when you see like a wide release movie that you're like, oh, this is dumb, but everyone's gonna love it, you're like, well, now at least that studio can go make what I like now. And I kind of look at it like with Nintendo, because they'll do something that's kind of crowd pleasy, then they'll do something innovative and it won't work. And then they wait another 5 years, and then the next generation they knock it out of the fucking park, like with the Switch. Like Wii U was like a massive failure to an extent that all of the good games that came out on Wii U have been recycled on the Switch, because they're like, fuck, we want to still sell these games. They're not selling well, you know. And nobody has a Wii U except for like a lot of hackers, and a lot of hackers love Wii U because it's easy to mod. And then a lot of people who are just like me, like just huge Nintendo fanboys, you know, I have it.
Well, and there was a handful of good games on the Wii U. Not a lot, but a handful.
The Wii U is fantastic. Like a lot of the good Switch games are originally Wii U games, like Mario Kart 8, like that you have there in your wonderful home on your home screen. That's, I really want it for the Switch, but I don't want to pay $60 again. That's like, I just, out of principle, I'm not going to buy it on the Switch, because I already own. I bought the Wii U to play that. Actually, that's why I bought it initially. Wow. That and the HD of Wind Waker, which is amazing. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That's so cool. Yeah, the Wii U. Like, I mean, so the other funny thing about the Wii U, right? It's like that they were correct in the rise of the second screen experience, and the need to be stimulated in terms of the screen and then doing something down here. It's just like, between that and actually getting people to buy the system and play the games, I just couldn't thread that needle.
It was it was also a terrible name for the system. I don't know who let that pass in marketing, but they should be fired because people didn't know that it was a new system. They thought it was a peripheral for the Wii because it was the Wii U. They literally thought, oh, they're selling a screen now. That's what people thought. They literally had to release commercials going, no, it's a brand new system. It can actually process HD. No, I don't believe you, Nintendo. Like it was just
Didn't
it
they
was bad.
didn't they have like a very didn't they have like a very self-aware commercial that came out? That was like literally explaining like it's not this, it is this.
No, they literally did. And in a lot of ways, when I look at the Switch and I look at the Wii U, I'm like, the Wii U is just a prototype for the Switch. It was literally them figuring out how can we get this experience but take it on the road? Because the Wii U, you can't even leave the room really. Like it's really like you can't leave the room or it loses connectivity with the system.
Oh, but it's not like
I mean, obviously, it has the portable.
I always thought it was like
so you take the Wii.
You know what's so funny about this? There's some disagreement, but I've heard literary people say that like Cormac McCarthy's work, like he did, No Country for Old Men, but then immediately afterwards he did The Road. So people disagree about this, but like if some people read No Country for Old Men and that weird sudden ending that it has, like because the movie's like similar to the book in that it ends with like you don't even see any shootout between Anton Chigurh and anybody else. You just see the dead bodies kind of there, and then you see Tommy Lee Jones like bummed out. My friend Terry said that like his theory, because he's a literary person, he said his theory was that Cormac McCarthy, like in the middle of writing No Country for Old Men, had the idea to write The Road, and he got so fucking amped about writing The Road that he just like finished as quickly as he could writing No Country for Old Men. And I wonder and I wonder if Wii U is exactly like you're saying, Kyle. Like they were like doing the Wii U to Switch, right? They're doing the Wii U and they're like, okay, we could do this and this and this and this, and then maybe I don't know, like not that far into the life cycle, they're like, we could release a fucking Game Boy, and it would also be a Wii like system, and they'd be like, okay, like was that just why they stopped doing anything for the Wii U? Because they're like, well, that's way better. How soon can we sell that? I don't know.
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
It's definitely gotta be. I mean, I feel like the Wii U definitely the turnaround between Wii U and Switch. I want to say the Wii U came out in 2012 and the Switch came out in like 2017, which is it's pretty on par. It's pretty on par with how it goes. I think Wii came out 2006 and GameCube was 2001, but the PS4 and the Xbox One were around a lot longer. So we've kind of seen two generations of a Nintendo system within the one generation of the past gen now, because PS5 and Xbox Series X are out now. But it's they definitely knew it wasn't great and they kind of capped it for sure. It wasn't as fast of a turnaround as like, and it wasn't as big of a failure as like the Virtual Boy, but it definitely didn't do great. Dude, the Virtual Boy gave me a headache. I tried it when I was a kid. I was like,
I had access, like, I played in like a Blockbuster or something, and it was unbelievably bad. But I didn't play it long enough that I like totally convinced myself it was bad. So in my mind now, it's like if somebody wanted to give me a Virtual Boy, I'd be like, this is the best system of all time, even though it's black and red and like basically my eyes don't see, totally three-dimensional. So like it didn't really work for me at all. But yeah, good old You're totally right, Kyle, about 2012 Wii U, 2017 Switch, man. You freaking nailed that. I was so impressed.
Oh, damn it.
5 years. That was great.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty good with years.
That's incredible.
Unimportant stuff, I'm good with dates. I don't know why.
Yeah, when it comes to like Nintendo and video games and stuff.
Movies, yeah, and I'm pretty good with actors' names and shit like that, like IMDb stuff in my head.
Nice. I totally forgot about this level.
Which one are you on now?
Snowman's Land.
So
the second snow level.
Yeah, like you said, Kyle, it has or maybe it was you, Chad. It has the people with the flowers on their heads, and
Oh, hop over the level. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Almost.
And there's that triple jump treadmill with the ice that comes at you.
Dude, I was playing that earlier today to just get a refresher on the game, and I was like seriously having trouble with it. I was like, "What the fuck? How am I?" It was like the big one kept and then like sliding me out to the ice and water.
Ooh.
Yeah, this level's a little unforgiving if like you haven't played in a while.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Nope.
I got this. Okay. Writing it out. Okay.
Yeah, this is another one of those you can get your hat blown off levels. You just gotta go up to the giant snowman in the middle of the level will blow your hat off and like send you flying.
I need to get to that sand level. Dry desert.
Oh yeah, with the pyramid.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Fun. Yeah. My tip for that one is I always do a side flip or a back flip onto the top little the little area up there.
Around the start.
And you get the shell.
Yeah.
And then if you get the shell, you can get through it real quick.
That shell is great.
Yeah, and then you get shell or the flying cap, and then you don't have to deal with I never like to deal with the box that can crush you, and you have to like time it out just right. Like you have to figure out which space he's not gonna crush you. You know what I mean?
This is a little off topic, but I just gotta address it because I can't get it out of my head. Either one of you guys watch Animaniacs growing up?
Yeah.
Have you watched the new one?
I have not watched the new one. Have you?
What's that, Kyle?
I watched the first episode of the new one. Yeah.
Isn't it amazing?
I really enjoyed it a lot, and it did a lot of. It's also really funny that you went to the sand level because that's where I paused it last.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Yeah, no, the new Animaniacs was amazing. I was really impressed with it. I love the reboot song that they did. That was really funny.
Yeah,
they're talking about reboots and sequels and stuff. And then I was like, dude, they're literally talking about how the world's ending. I was like, this is great.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's exactly what I need.
I had this like weird reaction the whole time I was getting emotional, but it was more just because I was like, they did it. Like they did it. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I like the beginning was a Jurassic Park reference, and I was like, well, they know who's watching this. like that's a problem and I feel like Animaniacs kind of circumvented this. I hate it when they do like a reboot or a redo of something we had as a kid, but it didn't grow up with us. Like I would love, and I know a lot of people talked about this. I'd love for there to be like a mature kind of gritty Ninja Turtles property of any kind, a movie, a video game, a comic. I mean, the comics obviously are gritty, but like something like that would be cool. But it just seems like every time they redo something like that or reboot it, it's still for kids, you know. And I think the kids aren't quite as interested in things that have been passed down sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Kyle, have you not checked out Ninja Turtles 3: Turtles in Time?
Oh, I love that.
I mean, what are you doing here?
Yeah, that's definitely the most mature, where mature means boring as hell.
There's a part in that movie where they accomplish a fight or whatever you call that, and they're done doing it, and then they go, awesome, high kick, and they kick feet together. I'm like, come on, man. Even as a kid, I was like, come on.
My favorite part of that movie was when they get the cannonball shot at them, and then they're like,
yeah.
I was like, the real turtles. They really are turtles. That's what turtles do. I was so excited as a kid.
That's great.
I was like, I've seen them do ninja stuff, but not turtle stuff. The turtle stuff is lacking. A lot more ninja and teenager, but a little bit of turtle.
My birthday's in the summer, and so like it would be like consistently a movie would come out on or near my birthday, and it would just be shit. And it was just like the most. I mean, it's a lot of fun birthdays. Having fun in the summer is fun, but like, you know, Ninja Turtles 3, I convinced myself that was okay. Like, Batman 2, we actually walked out of because my mom thought it was too sexual.
Batman
But,
Returns.
Batman Returns
yeah.
is hypersexual movie.
But yeah, we walked out of the theater on my birthday. But anyway, I feel like Ninja Turtles 3 was specific. I mean, it was just, oh yeah, I forgot that trick where you go underneath the body of the block. Yeah, Ninja Turtles 3, what a disappointment, man.
Did you what
To
was I
sum
gonna
up,
say?
To summary, what a disappointment, man.
Oh, when is your birthday? Mine's June 15th because I
Oh
can
yeah,
definitely.
I'm June 20th.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely relate to that. I would get so mad if I was like, I was in the theater and they're like, coming June 15th. And I'm like, motherfucker, if it's something stupid. I can't remember. I'd have to pull up something of like the past few years on my birthday, but there's definitely been movies where I'm like, God damn it. Like,
yeah, that's great.
But there's been other times I would have been very happy, and there's been really good movies released on my birthday.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Famous birthdays has started to also like bring up things that happened on your birthday. Okay. Incredibles 2, which I
June
saw that.
That was the one. That was the last. I was like, fuck yeah. I think me and my dad saw it on my birthday together because we watched the one when I was a kid.
That's very good. That's My Boy, the Adam Sandler vehicle.
That was one of those fuck you.
Tag. Remember that, Jim?
I heard Tag was not bad.
I didn't like Tag. I didn't think it was good enough.
I thought Tag seemed like the biggest try hard thing I ever just watching the trailer. I was like, nah, they're just really trying to capture like this kind of hangover lightning in a bottle type thing, and that's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
I heard it was decent though. Like I just wasn't into it.
Yeah, I couldn't get
it mixed up with Game Night.
Oh yeah, Game
that
Night.
was the other one I wasn't into. I was like, dudes in their 40s playing tag. That's lame. Like, no, move on.
Yeah, if I'm gonna watch tag, it's gonna be those guys doing parkour tag on TV. That looks pretty cool.
I like the parkour guys that dress like Assassin's Creed. Like that's really cool.
That's a great idea. Yeah. So I think looking at this modest list, I think the greatest movie to come out on your birthday was Batman Begins in 2005.
Oh, dude, I was working at Arby's. That was the best. not Arby's. I was working at Arby's that summer, and we were like broke because my dad's a teacher and he doesn't save money, and we were like broke, and I was literally like buying groceries for us and stuff, and then I was like, dude, I'm buying a Batman Begins ticket, like, and we ended up like I remember paying for it. I was like 17, and me and my dad went to see it. It was great.
That's sweet. That's neat. Yeah, well, that movie was the shit.
One. Yeah. So like every once in a while, I think the first Wonder Woman movie came out like maybe a couple days before my birthday or a little bit after my birthday. That was really cool. I went with some friends. I also have for a little while, my core friend group all had June birthdays. We were all Geminis. It was like June 5th, June 11th, June 15th, June 12th. So that was really cool.
Nice. Cool. Me and my friends were all January.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
My mom was January. My mom was January 12th.
That's the day after me. Oh, I fell.
Oh, yeah. Sure enough.
What's the delay over there, Lars?
What would it be? I guess I could count it, but I'm not positive. Seems like it's like 3 seconds.
Cool. That's not bad.
No, I keep thinking if I really focus, I can cut it down, but that's not how it works.
Okay, here we go. I'm taking it. After this, I'm gonna go to. I just was thinking about what level it was. I really like the level where you get the vanish cap button.
Oh,
that was really fun.
That one is another one that you can just crawl up.
Yeah,
which makes it a little easier, but it's so time consuming.
You mean to get up the initial slide?
My recent playthrough of it, yeah, in my recent playthrough, I have yet to get it. I'm gonna go get it right now, actually. But I like I like how it's set up. It's got all those little platforms that you can kind of slide and kind of jump, but if you get too much momentum going, you just fucking fall right off the level. But I've been having issue with lately is just the revolving platforms that are just kind of going on the pulley system.
Yeah, those are hard. There's so many things to this game that really come together so well, like the colors and the simplicity. That's the cool thing about Nintendo is like they're like the Pixar of video games, I guess you could say, but they don't really pull off the amazing visuals. It's very simple, and that's what I've always liked it because it's not too much in your face. There's not a lot going on, and it's only what it needs to be.
Yeah. Yeah, Polygon.
And they get really iconic with it, and that's what I like. Like, there's not, and they always like. Sometimes people are always like, "Oh, well, they kind of just repackage the same idea." It's like, well, I mean, they at least add a new element to it every time, and it feels fresh. That's what I feel like. Like every Zelda game has a little bit of a gimmick. Like one of them, you can turn into a wolf. Another one, you're using motion controls and you fly around on a bird. It's like they always add something new, especially with Mario too. Like they've got Sunshine, which is set on a tropical island. They've got this one that's kind of all over the place, and then they kind of come back to form with Odyssey and Galaxy because those games play a lot like this one, but like on steroids, which is really awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Mario Odyssey has the possession gimmick, so you can use your cap to like possess enemies.
Yeah, and you can do that. There's one that has what's the one that 3D Land? That's the one with the cats, right?
3D Land's cool. 3D Land is a little different though. 3D Land, you can play up to 4 players, and they take the concept of a 2D Mario with the flagpole and the more linear gameplay, but they put it into a 3D background, and it's like it's really innovative. They take a lot of, it's a perfect marriage between the two styles of Mario, and you can have up to 4 people playing at a time, and that's the one with the cat suit. I love the cat suit's like one of my favorite Mario power-ups ever. It's somewhere between that and the penguin suit from New Super Mario Brothers for Wii. The penguin suit's a lot of fun because you do a lot of sliding in the ice levels. It makes you faster. But the cat power up's awesome. You do like this little kitty pounce thing. You can climb up walls for a bit, and it's just the way he walks around. He like prances around with his butt in the air. It's kind of funny. It's just really silly and cute. All right, I just got the invisible cap.
Nice.
Somehow I was able to do it while doing the Zoom call better and not thinking about it. I don't know. I just went autopilot here.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's good.
I didn't get all the red coins though. I wasn't that good. Let me see if I can come back and get them. Oh, I just did something super risky.
I was texting Chad about the new version of Tony Hawk, which I'm kind of getting into. Were either of you guys into that? We could keep it for a Tony Hawk episode, I guess. I don't mean to derail, but
oh no, that's fine. Zach's playing that a lot.
The new one. I played the new one for a little bit. I played the school level, which is always my favorite, in the second one, because I have way more experience with the second Tony Hawk than the first one. Because I think I own the first one for 64, and I don't know if you ever played the 64 ones, but like if your friend had the PS1 version and you had the 64 one, you felt like a poor person.
Yeah. Yep.
You're like, God damn it, they took all these things out. Like I can't, like it wasn't as fluid, it wasn't as smooth, it was a little more,
and my C buttons are so small.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel the same. Yeah. And if you it wasn't as a grand a departure though as if I had Tony Hawk 3 on PS1 and then the PS2 version. Oh my god, like that. I was like, why did you even make a PS1 version so I would be made fun of when my friends come over? Yeah. That's kind of like the only reason. Like,
that was probably one of the earlier instances of that happening.
Oh yeah, and they still do it to an extent. Like they do it with like Madden and stuff. Like if you have, like I'm sure people who get Madden 2020 or whatever on Xbox One are going to be made fun of. by kids nowadays for sure. Like the cycle completes itself.
I mean, you hope so, at least.
Yeah, exactly. I hope that they're getting made fun of. Those broke motherfuckers.
I guess they're all a lot of the games, even if you buy the cartridge, is understood that they'll like be downloading the additional textures or whatever for the like up-resed version. But in practice, I don't know how well that's going to work. I guess you would have to probably, I'm assuming they'd want you to do like a full download, right, on your system, you know?
What are you talking about? What game?
So a lot of games are coming out for PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, but then they're also, they promise that you'll also get the next gen version. Like,
oh yeah,
sometimes
you have to pay the difference. Like it's a $10 fee or something, I think.
Yeah,
and
that's interesting.
There's some of them that are doing an exclusive deal where you get both versions. Like I think the new Assassin's Creed, whatever system you buy it on, like you can play it on the next gen, which is cool.
Yeah, that's
but
cool.
It's not super cool for me because I don't have a PS4 and I don't want to continue Microsoft next time. So I'm like, I think the new Assassin's Creed is going to be my last hurrah on that system for sure.
That makes sense.
I wonder if you buy it on PS5, if you can get it on PS4 also.
I'll just downgrade. I mean, maybe if you just want to buy the PS5 version now and wait.
Yeah, I guess that's a way to do it. The nice thing about PlayStation Plus is you get those free games and whatever, and they have PS5 games that are popping up on that. So I'm getting PS5 games before I get a PS5. So when I get one, I'll have all these games already ready for me. It's great. So excited.
That is great.
I did that with my PS2. I bought Final Fantasy X and then Unreal Tournament.
A really
like
game.
Final Fantasy X is great. That's the only one I really played through like a decent amount. The other ones I didn't have the patience for.
I just watched my friend play through that a little bit, but I was like the whole beach area, which I think is the intro, was great, and just the cutscenes look great. Game looks great.
I like Blitz. I like playing the Blitzball. That was fun.
I don't remember that. I remember some sort of I think it was 10-2 that had the like pop star part of it, right?
Yeah, that was weird. 10-2 was interesting. Yeah. It was like, it's like, hey, girls, want to play Final Fantasy as well?
And they're like, we already were playing it. What do you mean?
No, exactly. Yeah, it felt kind of like painful. I was like, I know a lot of ladies who play Final Fantasy. Like,
yeah, that's not one of my. I've never played a Final Fantasy game. Just seen that one played a little bit, and seen 7 played a little bit. And I mean, I saw someone play Final Fantasy 7, and then I was like, okay, I get it.
It's funny now because I didn't grow up with Final Fantasy 7 like a lot of people did, because to a lot of people that's like their ocarina game, you know.
Right.
And because I mean, those games are definitely comparable, and there's definitely, I remember as a kid there was like a rivalry almost, like Final Fantasy fans kind of treated us the way that Star Trek fans treat Star Wars fans sometimes. Like, oh, you just like big explosions. Like, no, I don't want to fall asleep watching your show. Sorry, right? There's too much exposition and too much nonsense. But that's how I felt about Final Fantasy. I always felt like it felt bloated. It was just like, here's 4 discs. You must complete all of them. And you're like, I don't know, man. Yeah. I wanted to have fun. No, you will fight this boss 17 times. And I'm like, well, what is it? At least like cool? Like, are there cool moves? No, you wait your turn. You're so mad about Final Fantasy. I was like, I can't do this. Stand there and get hit. Like,
it's so funny.
If it was like a game, I could dodge.
That's how it was with me and like Metal Gear. Because I was like, this game's great. The story's great. The acting is great. I love everything about this. And then my friends would come over and be like, what are you playing? What is this? This is really dumb. You know that, right? What are they saying? Why are they saying that like that? Yeah, and then I'm like, I was such a fanboy of those that like I still love Metal Gear. And so Metal Gear 4 comes out, and that one's really dramatic, and it's really like hokey. And there's just a lot of, like, if you've ever played a Metal Gear game, there's always those parts where, you know, it's just awkward, like, you know, sexual tension between Meryl and Snake, and there's that kind of thing going on, and someone pisses or shits their pants in every game. And it's so Japanese, but with like non-Japanese characters, set in America. So it's just the writing is weird, the acting's weird.
I really like that. That's like a whole genre of video game is a very Japanese story, but with like American characters. Like that's like Resident Evil is so fun and so Japanese. Like it's like there's so much Japanese influence on it, and it's so fun to me. Like I really like that kind of style. I didn't really. I played the first Metal Gear for PS1. I didn't really venture deeper into it. I also had one for I had one for Game Boy Color that was more like the original Nintendo one. That one was good too.
Yeah, I played that one too. I also played.
I enjoyed the theme.
Twin Snakes.
Oh, Twin Snakes, is that on GameCube?
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, I heard that was fucking awesome. It was a really cool. I saw another video about Metal Gear. It was like they put in the game a code where if they found out that you were cheating or that you had stolen some of the content, that you would get this like unavoidable game over screen that would basically be like, this is what you get for being an asshole. And they have like a guy just murder you in a cutscene. Like,
that's awesome.
Pretty great.
I know they had really fun stuff like Psycho Mantis could read your memory card and you'd have to unplug your controller from one port, plug it into the other one to finish the boss level.
Awesome. That's crazy.
Yeah,
GameCube was always doing stuff to like fuck with you. I don't know if you guys have ever played. It's called Sanity's Requiem. Eternal Darkness. Yeah, that game is amazing. I suggest anyone who has access to a GameCube emulation. Yeah, that game is so much fun, and it really set the groundwork for a lot of survival horror stuff. Like they had the sanity meter where you thought your game was deleting itself, and that shit.
And it would reset. The game would reset, and you're like, well, I didn't hit a button. Who hit the button? Did the power just go out? What happened? And then like, just something's different about the menu even, and it's
I can't imagine. Like I still have it, and I haven't played it in a while. I need to get like really stoned and play it, and then like see if the sanity stuff like fucks with my head a little bit. That would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
What did I do? Like, I also think they kind of set the groundwork for the Assassin's Creed games, because the whole idea of like playing through history as multiple characters. Like I haven't really seen that done except for in Eternal Darkness and
that's true.
Assassin's Creed. Pretty innovative.
I don't know anything about Eternal Darkness. That's really interesting. We've talked.
It was only on GameCube. It was developed by Silicon Knights, and then they went under. And there was supposed to be a sequel that just never came out.
But they did a lot of cool stuff, right? I forget what else they did.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but that was the one game I know I really enjoyed by them.
Lars has a computer.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Silicon Knights.
Yeah, it's spelled Knights with a K.
All right. One of the most common Google searches. What happened, Silicon Knights? I don't know, guys. I think Eternal Sunshine might have been there. Okay, so they did okay. I'm not positive. These are the titles that are associated with them. So I'm not 100% sure of what they're like, if they were deep in or whatever. So X-Men Destiny in 2011, Two Human in 2000.
Oh yeah, Two Human. I played that.
Yeah, Two Human's really fun. So X-Men Destiny, I think, is the one you said. So that was the one that like sank the ship, apparently.
Ooh,
so that was their like, people.
Was really that the isometric one?
Yeah,
that was the one where you create your own mutant that has you get to pick superpowers and you join the X-Men. And it was like a really ambitious title, and people really enjoyed it, but it was like really short. And then the word of mouth got out, and it didn't sell well, I think, is what ended up happening.
That's fascinating. So the Two Human in 2008. I could give. Okay, I'll give it to you in order. Okay, so a game called Fantasy Empires. It looks like was a Dungeons and Dragons offshoot in '93. What was that for?
Okay. I swear they had something a little. What?
Okay, so this DOS game in '93, The Horde in '94. Anybody remember that? Kirk Cameron. Yeah, I was thinking it's a 3DO game. Gex in '94.
There we go.
Enter the Gecko.
That's what it was. Dude, Gex is actually pretty popular. I forget how popular he is because I hear people bring him up a lot. And I was like, I remember that. He was like a James Bond type of lizard, I think.
Yeah. Well, just like all of the pop culture stuff, but
yeah. Like Crash Bandicoot kind of play, but with a I'm trying to think of like who had that kind of attitude.
Yeah. And was Enter the Gecko 3D? Because it must have been '94.
The 3D platformer.
Yeah. I had the Gex for the 3DO, which might have been the original, and it was 2D. Yeah.
I remember playing one on PS1 that was 3D. That was pretty ridiculous.
I think that's Enter the Gecko. Oh yeah, and then Gex also came out for PlayStation. So
I had that and this Looney Tunes game called Sheepdog and Wolf.
I was just about to bring up, dude, Sheep Raider. Sheep Raider is what it was called, right?
Oh, is it Sheep Raider? Let me go.
That's right.
Sheep Raider, dude. Sheep Raider was amazing. It was
okay. So
it was Looney Tunes Stealth. That game was amazing. It was one of my favorite games. So that was the same studio.
It was that makes stealth puzzle game.
No, Chad just threw. I think Chad just threw that in.
Okay. I was about to say.
I think he was comparing it to Gex. So Sheepdog and Wolf was the title of it, but it was released as Looney Tunes Sheep Raider in North America.
Whoa, weird.
Yeah.
So I played
version.
I played Sheepdog and Wolf.
Weird. Is this some kind of Mandela effect with video games?
No, I know I rented it, so I wonder if that was the case.
Oh, dude, I just remember it only being titled Sheep Raider. And
Sheep Raider's a way better name.
Yeah, I was like, that's so weird because it's nothing like Tomb Raider at all. They just used that name. Popular. It's like if anything, it's like Metal Gear Solid. They should have called it Metal Sheep Solid or something. Like that makes so much more sense.
Yeah, I wonder if it had to do with like they put it out on PlayStation and then they called it Sheep Raider or something like that.
I think it's definitely why.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's funny. That.
How transparent.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those psychological. You gotta create nostalgia where it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what I just realized? So, as far as capitalizing on marketing and stuff, so there's a movie called $1 Million Baby, you know?
Mm.
Oh yeah.
And then there's this movie that came out about 10 years afterward.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
No,
no. Oh, I'm sorry.
Called $1 Million Arm.
Right.
Ooh.
I think that was more than a year later though. That was that. Wait, say it again.
It starts with an A instead of, it's not baby, it's arm. So they just go $1 Million Arm. So I swear to God, that's the whole thought process behind this was they go, oh, $1 Million Baby is really popular. People are going to search for $1 Million Baby. They're going to find $1 Million Arm that comes up faster because it starts with an A.
Yeah.
Oh, I made it.
If that's true, then they would have been the dumbest people of all time. Because $1 Million, I mean, like for two reasons at least, right? One, $1 Million Baby is the most depressing movie of all time, and no one would want to watch it like intentionally. Number two, like $1 Million Arm, like that actually sounds a lot like The Man with the Golden Arm, which is a Frank Sinatra movie about a guy who's fucking addicted to heroin. So that's already a bad title, but. But again, $1 Million Arm is that Don Draper movie about him finding Indian guys to play baseball. So you're saying the corporate strategy of Disney, by the way, was to rip off. Who released $1 Million Baby?
Isn't that it's Hilary Swank in that one, right?
Yeah. Who was the Warner Brothers? Okay, so Disney is trying to boost their grosses of the Don Draper Indians playing baseball movie by associating it with the female boxer, gritty Oscar Bates star. Like that's what it is.
Not necessarily associating it, just saying, oh, we're going to take, because we know that this movie, like we didn't spend money on marketing. We just changed, we're going to make it called this. And okay, so if you're looking at $1 Million Arm on your computer, see if there was a working title for that.
Okay.
Just this is
working. Okay. Oh, here it is. Wikipedia working title: $1 Million Baby 2. No, let's see if I can find it.
They actually did that with the movie Troll 2. They named it Troll 2 because there was a movie called Troll that was really popular, and because the movie Troll 2 isn't about trolls, it's about goblins. It was originally going to be called Goblin. Yeah, so they called it Troll 2, just hoping people would be confused. And it's like those bad versions of like Disney cartoons they sell at Dollar Tree on DVD. It's like, oh, this is Aladdin. It's like, no, it's not at all. Like, this is not Aladdin.
There's a movie that I saw at Blockbuster a lot, and it was called Transmorphers. Came out at the same time.
Very good.
That's
one of the things I love is the courtyard with you can get into Boo's mansion,
Oh yeah, that one's kind of trippy. You got to kill the Boo, and then you shrink into a bird cage, and the entire level is encased in a bird cage. Yeah.
What a game!
And there's the merry-go-round of like the just crazy music the whole time.
Yeah, that creeped me out as a kid, and it was just the music, and then hearing the ghost sound, and then there's also the evil piano that you can't kill.
Oh, that would scare me over and over again. My daughter played this a long time ago, and I was like, "You want to play the scary level?" And she's like, "Is it really scary?" And I was like, "It's not that scary," and because it's not that scary. But I mean, still got her with the piano. Like, she jumps pretty big.
Do you think that when younger people play this game, they just see the weird ass walls and are like, "This game sucks"? You know what I mean? Like, because the wallpapers are not like, I've never maybe noticed them before, but they are not the best. So
look at the door. Does the door have a face on it, or does it just look like that?
Oh yeah, like a weird wooden thing.
I feel like they do some of those things on purpose. On the door, it's definitely a face on purpose in this one. But I feel like Ocarina of Time does that too with a lot of weird textures. Like when you're inside the whale and stuff. It's definitely it reminds me of it's a trick that they use in cheaper animation. And they'll do like, instead of coloring someone's shirt, it'll just be like a pattern and it kind of moves with it. That's what 64 reminds me of. They reuse a lot of patterns for sure. It saves them money, kind of like Hanna-Barbera just redoing the same backgrounds for like Fred and stuff over and over again. Yeah.
So apparently WB owns Hanna-Barbera. I just noticed with when I was watching Animaniacs, they had there's this segment that they had the Flintstones and they had that purple horse, bear, cow. What is it? He wears a collar and a tie.
Magilla Gorilla?
No.
Sylvester?
No.
Horse, bear, cow.
The cat?
Yeah, Hanna-Barbera, purple cat.
Oh, what is
it? Cat?
Not Top Cat. Top Cat. I think Top Cat's Hanna-Barbera though. No, I know who you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's a yellow cat with it is Top Cat. You were right. That's what I'm thinking about. Purple vest and hat and yellow cat.
There's also there's an effeminate cat. There's an effeminate cat.
I think that's Sylvester.
Yeah, they based it off of an actor.
Oh, is he supposed to be like Paul Lynde or somebody?
yeah, he's supposed to be. Yeah, and I was like, that's kind of ridiculous, but it's kind of funny. Like they're like, oh, we're gonna make a gay cat for him. Hey, look at this gay cat.
No. I was totally wrong. It's not Sylvester. Sylvester is Sylvester and Tweety.
Right? It's Snagglepuss. I'm thinking of.
Thank you.
No, Snagglepuss is the shark.
Is Snagglepuss the shark? No, Snagglepuss isn't the shark. That's
No, it's Jabberjaw.
Jabberjaw.
Oh, yeah. You're right. It is Snagglepuss. I'm so sorry. You're totally right. My bad.
Jabberjaw is so a ripoff of fucking Scooby-Doo. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah.
So I was trying to type into Google while kind of halfway playing this game and having the conversation at the same time and watching the screen. So the only thing I wrote into Google was purple cat. God damn it.
Come right up. I think you mean Snagglepuss.
Yeah, that's how I figured it out.
Okay, it was Bert Lahr inspired.
So anyway,
It was the
that
Cowardly
character, all the
Lion.
Flintstones, all the Looney Tunes, the Tiny Toons, they all pop into an episode of Animaniacs that I just watched.
Huh.
I remember in the first episode they had like Batman and Gandalf and Harry Potter, and
Yeah.
they were like jumping off their heads. They're like, "Fuck you guys, we're getting our reboot," and it
Dude,
was really funny.
the Seth Meyers joke was amazing. I loved it.
Yeah, that was really good.
The only reason my face is allowed on TV is nobody's watching.
Yeah, oh my god, I like Seth Meyers as a person, but I think he's a cool dude and he's funny here and there. But he is so bad at over tagging his jokes. I don't know if you've noticed that. Like you'll see like a segment on the Seth Meyers show, and it's like, okay, it was funny there, and then you're like, oh, he's still going. He's still going. He's still.
I've only seen Weekend Update. He was that guy, right?
Yeah, he was on Weekend Update for a while. I can't remember which version of what late night show he does. I think he does the Tonight Show or something. Or no, that's at Fallon. I can't remember who does who, but I've been watching more of the late night stuff after all the Trump stuff that he's been doing lately this year, obviously. Yeah. But I think it might have to do with the fact that Seth Meyers doesn't have an audience right now. So he's just kind of like just over tagging everything.
Yeah. That's funny. I actually I didn't mind. I'm listening to that more often. For a while anyway, I was listening to Seth Meyers. I think it was like after the Trump refusing to concede stuff, just being like, "Am I crazy?"
Oh, it's funny. His stuff is really fun right now. I just always feel like it's like 2 tags too many.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I will, and it's interesting. I think that like, well, I think I might be wrong about this, but I feel like some aspects of late night are trying to push some artistic limits, and I feel like some of them being kind of overwritten is like part of that. But the idea of over tagging, I'll actually pay attention to that because I don't know if I've thought about it in those terms.
Yeah, I always, when I see him, I think of it as like a stand-up set, and I'm like, well, I would have like stopped it there because the rhythm. I was like, you just lost the rhythm, and it's hard for me not to analyze it that way. I will say I do like that what you said about like the artistic limits, because definitely I think is one of the coolest things about like comedy shows, kind of having to weave around the censors and see what they can get through and what they can't. And like one of the things I think of is there was a Johnny Carson joke, a good example of this, way back in the day, obviously because Johnny Carson. But Johnny Carson was interviewing a lady who had a cat on her lap, and he said, "Can I pet your pussy?" And then oh, and then she's like, "Sure," and he goes, "Okay, well, move that damn cat off your lap." And then you're like, where he went over the fucking edge, you know, like. But no, you really have to, and I think early Family Guy was really good at this. Early seasons of Family Guy were really good at sneaking in all these jokes. Like I watched some of season 1 a few days ago, and there's just a joke, and it's so inane to think about. It's just a joke. Peter going something like, someone said "come" and he goes, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna laugh because I said "come." And what? Like, how did you sneak that there? But no, I honestly think that's another reason why like shows, like as much as I like Rick and Morty, I feel like Rick and Morty just gets kind of ridiculous because there's no real censorship on it now. Like they've gotten real wild with it, or shows that are on like HBO, or shows that are anywhere that they're just allowed to say whatever comes to mind, because they just kind of write themselves into a corner. I think that having opposition makes you a more creative writer, for sure.
Yeah, right. That's a great point. I think that's totally right. Yeah, and yeah, that idea of having to work within certain like restrictions and stuff. Have you ever like tried to write like a concept heavy set, kind of where you were like obeying certain rules or something, or trying not to say something, or structuring it in a particular way or whatever?
Not super consciously, but like sometimes there's like buzzwords I would try to avoid, or there were certain things that I would try and amp up more depending on the audience, for sure. But I haven't done any like mnemonic things or anything like that. I know what you mean. Like I've seen some people do some really interesting stuff that really like kind of goes in a circle, and it's funnier each time they loop it, which I really like. That's kind of like the what I like about Monty Python so much is because they'll have like this curve of like, okay, this is a really stupid idea, but it's so funny because it's stupid. All right, it's annoying now. It's really annoying. Oh, they're pushing it. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And you're like, God damn it! The best example would be like the guards. The guards in Holy Grail. They're like, you make sure he doesn't leave. And they're like, okay. And then they just don't get it, and I love that kind of thing, that it follows a strict formula, but it's still so funny, you know.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I feel like yeah, it's neat. I mean, it's funny though, like it really is true though that like humor and cleverness are not the same thing, you know? Like I like it best when there's something I enjoy and then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, that was written like with perfect rhyme or whatever. You know what I mean? But you don't even realize it. Like that's like really that's like an Easter egg for other performers, I feel like. Because I've done stuff sometimes where I'm like, oh, this is like an interesting idea, but then it's actually not funny. And then it's like, well, fuck it. Like, it's not worth it. You know, like it doesn't, if the audience isn't with you, then who are you performing it for? You know, I feel like there's some of that.
I used to tell, like, my first year of comedy, I wrote this, like, it was almost like a haiku about why I hate Christmas. And it was like, I really liked the alliteration I used. This is probably a good example of me trying to do that, but it failing. I had the alliteration there. It was like, I was working at the mall during the holidays, and it was mindless morons, mindless meandering morons nabbing knickknacks for neglected 9-year-olds. I was like that, trying to break down. No one ever thought it was funny, and everyone thought I was an asshole. And I was like, dude, but the alliteration. And I was like, you know, like, and I had more to it, but that's the one part I remember. I was like, dude, and after that, I was like, I don't know if I can try and do something that's strictly like, because especially if it's not funny to other people. But
right, that's so good though. That's like that reminds me of, like, occasionally I feel like Patton Oswalt will do that, right? Like
that's kind of who inspired me to do stuff like that. Is I really like, because he's an English major, so his use of language is fucking intense. Like he's really good at that, and he still kind of comes across as like a guy of regular intelligence, even though he's insanely smart, which I like. He's very down to earth with that.
Yeah, I think so too.
He doesn't sound pretentious unless he's talking about movies.
Right. Chad, do you do like, you know, like weird, like a specific rule or structure or something when you're doing stuff? I feel like you might have them, but I can't think of what they would be.
I don't know. Not really. I kind of have just themes of, you know, like I'm going to tell these kinds of jokes tonight because it's a family night, or if it's a, you know, if it's a rowdy crowd, then I'll talk about like, oh man, I used to go party like this, and it's just, I don't know, it's cheating, and like now I probably wouldn't do that because I don't feel genuine when I do that, because it's, you know, I was just talking to someone a little bit ago, and I was saying how certain drinks affect me, but I don't drink, but I know how I'm affected. And they were like, oh, well, you should try this next time. And I was like, oh, I don't drink. And then it was just this whole like thing of like, I don't know. I don't know how to navigate that yet. Because I don't care that much that I don't drink. I just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not as important to me as when you say it out loud in front of someone. They go like, oh, okay. I'm
the same way with it too. I'm the same way. Like I'll be talking to people at work, like when I'm selling them beer and stuff. I was like, oh, you should get this one. This is the like I was like, this is the one I really like. And it was like, I used to drink it all the time, but I don't drink anymore. And then they'll say something like that, and I was like, I almost avoid telling them, because it's always like it's worse for them in their head than what it is for you. You know, I don't think of it as an affliction. I'm just like, it's just something I'm done with. Like if I was like really like building birdhouses for a long time. Like, I don't want to fucking like, but I do know how to build a bird. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to get drunk on a birdhouse, I'll fucking
It's very good.
Yeah.
Well, I like the I knew you weren't gonna say it, but I like the idea that you would have they would have been like, oh well, yeah. When next time you have one, it'd be like, well, I'm an alcoholic. They'd be like, oh okay. You'd be like, I've accepted that alcohol is cunning, baffling, and powerful. Like you go through the whole thing. Like I accepted a higher power. Like okay. I think I will take the beer.
But there's 12 whole steps. Like you guys gotta let me tell you. Yeah.
You're like, no, I don't need it. You're like, step one.
So, yeah, just not listen to them at all. No, the funniest I've had is like comics totally get it, and I think Chad and I had talked about this on our podcast. But comics totally get it. I'm in the I wait tables. Servers do not understand it. They're kind of dicks. Like I had a girl drunk at a bar. I was just trying to like hang out and get to know my coworkers a little better. And she's like, "Why don't you drink?" And I'm like, "Because I'm an alcoholic." And she's like, "Oh." And then that was my boss. My boss didn't get it either. My boss was like, "We have all these new drinks, and we need you to try them." And I was like, "I don't drink." He's like, well, he's like, have a sip of this. This is like the mixture that we put into this drink. And I was like, well, does it have alcohol in it? He's like, yeah, it's got Prosecco. And I was like, well, I'm an alcoholic. He's like, well, just have a sip. And I was like, you don't understand how this fucking works. That's like telling someone I'm addicted to desserts, and they're like, well, just lick one Oreo. Like, you'll be fine.
Just cut your wrist a little bit. Like, just like deep, but not the whole area.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think you understand how this works, dude. Like,
I had I was at some party forever ago, before I was with my wife, obviously, and I found myself at a table with this really beautiful chef, and she seemed like she had it all together and all that, and I was like, she was like, oh, I'm a chef. I'm like, oh, okay, so this is gonna sound crazy, but every time I meet someone in the service industry, they have a DUI. Isn't that crazy? And I didn't even mean it about her. I just meant like in general, this is a thing. Like I've never met people who just drink so hard as people in the service industry. And at that point, I was also working in a deli, so I was like, and like I started on this, and immediately her face goes totally cold, and she's like, yeah, I got a few. Do you? It was like for I swear years, no one I met who like had anything to do behind the bar, in front of the bar, food service, serving things, chefs. It was just like people like to party and drink and eat in that industry. It's like a whole thing. I'm not totally surprised they were shocked.
It's kind of it's like the last bastion of service industry. If you have a DUI, I feel like is like waiting tables because you're not driving anything. But yeah, I knew a guy. I know this guy. He probably still works at Red. He probably still works at Red Robin. I feel bad for him. He's a really nice guy. He's like really attractive, really fit, but he's got like 14 DUI. I don't know. He's got like, but any more than one DUI is like 40 to me. Yeah, I'm sorry, like, dude. At a certain point, you're like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? But like he's like only gonna be able to work at Red Robin forever because they don't really care. But it seems like he's gonna be kind of stuck there. But yeah, DUIs are super common. I'm lucky. I've never had one. I've been reckless and been stupid before, but I was like, I'm a comic and a server, so it's like missed it twice.
Yeah, it really is a 1-2 punch with that.
It really is. Yeah.
No, but I know I've met people and I was like, they have DUIs and they don't quit drinking, and I'm like there was your sign. Like if you needed a sign, like, or at least slow down. Like if this is like, fuck, dude. Like if I was even threatened with a DUI, I would have quit. Like
yeah.
I actually almost got a DUI for if he wasn't a cool cop, I would have gotten a DUI for marijuana driving before. But
what were you gonna say, Chad?
What's that?
Chad, I was gonna say something.
Oh, this level, I've been looking for Dire Docs. I forgot where it was.
Oh yeah, it's behind the second Mauser.
Yeah.
That one is intense because it just drops you in the water,
It's so
which I
cool.
really like. Yeah, it's just like it's like there you are. That one, I think that one is my favorite over the other. Even though the sunken ship aspect of the other one is really cool.
Yeah.
I like that there's sharks in this one too.
Yeah, and you can mix caps right away. You can get a vanishing cap and a metal cap at the same time. It's great.
That's cool. Oh,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
like second star in that level is you have to get that to.
Yeah, that one's really cool.
Yeah. That blew my mind as a kid, being able to do 2 power-ups at once. I was like, what?
That is amazing.
One of the scary things also is you can get trapped in this cage if you let the caps wear off, and then you're just trapped in a little cage if you don't get the star. Yeah,
I have definitely done that before.
I'm gonna finish this thing up with this Bowser level right here with no hat. By the way, I'm going no hat.
Oh, shit.
I'm doing Elvis. That's what we called it as kids.
Yeah.
Elvis style. When my first exposure to this game, I was at Walmart. Of course, we were talking about that, but like getting to see people play it. It was I went to a daycare center as a kid in Florida, and all the 5th graders had Mario 64, and they were playing it because the whole place was set up. It was amazing. They had a gaming computer, like 2 64s, 2 PlayStations, 2 Super Nintendos, 2 Genesis. Like they had arcade cabinets too. It was pretty cool.
Jeez.
But I just remember as a kid watching it a lot and not being able to play it. And and honestly, like I think it was like 2 years after the game came out that I was actually able to get my hands. But I made myself sick the first night.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I stayed up and just made myself sick playing Mario 64.
Yeah, have you ever gotten like that's a thing that my friend did. We got Diablo 2, and he got this like sickness because his schedule changed and he didn't get enough sleep and he didn't eat enough, and so he would wake up and then throw up and then start playing video games, and he's like, yeah, this kind of happens every day now.
Jesus.
And it was weird.
Wow.
It definitely can fuck with people. I know people's lives. I don't know personally, but I know that it's happened. People's lives have been ruined by fucking World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
and
that's the big one, right?
A lot of those like League of Legends and shit.
Haven't people died in internet cafes just playing the game and then just
at least one person? Yeah.
I stayed up. I did a loop because I was trying to fix my sleep schedule. I stayed up for like 15 hours the other day. And or not 15. I stayed up more than 24 hours, but I was playing Assassin's Creed Origins for like 10, 11 hours. Like that one, a lot of those games are easy to get sucked into. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. Just get I remember I almost had some work issue one day because it was the day after Arkham City came out. Yeah, and it was just like I never want to stop playing this game. Like, I mean, I kind of got sick of it quick after a while, but yeah, that game was just unbelievable.
Yeah, I beat that one on I beat that one on the super hard mode because I wanted it to last long. It was so fucking hard, and I had to it almost felt like when you watch people play Guitar Hero and they're like really good at it because it was all because it's basically more like a dance than a fight when you're fighting in Arkham City because you're like, all right, dodge here, hit him here, cape him here, fucking freeze him, hit him with the grappling hook. Like, dude, I had it down pat because it was super hard, but it stretched out the game for me because I didn't want it to end because I love that. That was such a great experience. That was such a fun one.
No, that's a great choice for a game to get obsessed with. I think at some point the Enigma puzzles got too difficult for me to want to do kind of on my own. And at some point I think I looked up like a walkthrough for some of that stuff for Arkham City, but some of the puzzles would become so complicated, even reading the solution was difficult. And so I felt like such an idiot. And then I'm like, I can't. I don't know if it's going to be right for me. But
I honestly never have finished any of the Riddler challenges and any of those. I've never gotten through it. I especially in the newest one that came out, that Arkham Knight. There's so many of the Riddler challenges involve the Batmobile, and I just got so burnt out on the Batmobile mechanics because that's so frustrating in that game. It's fun, but it's frustrating.
Yeah. No, it's like a series, like a few too many systems. These are great dismounts, Chad.
Thanks. I didn't quite make it through the.
Yeah,
I didn't quite make it through, out of the. I didn't kill Bowser. I died at the very end.
No, you tried your best.
Yeah, I did.
We commend you for that.
This is great. Are you thinking that's a stopping point?
Yeah, that's. I'm not gonna go back through that. I'm good. I got to the point where I felt myself squeeze the controller. Like, oh, okay, I'm starting to get a little upset.
Yeah.
This game will frustrate you for sure. Like, it's definitely got that quality to it. Especially that game over screen. And you're like, I guess I'll pull on Mario's nose for a while. Like,
yeah.
Game over. I'm gonna pull on this motherfucker's nose because he let me down.
It's your fault,
well,
Mario.
Well, thanks, Kyle, for doing this with us.
You were an unusually active guest. This is really awesome, Kyle, and it's great to be able to kind of meet you. I look forward to hanging out in person sometime.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen you around, but yeah, it's very nice chatting with you today, Lars.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't. I know we'd officially met each other. I didn't want to make it seem like I totally lost my memory, but I don't know if we've chatted to this length. So that was really.
Yeah, of course.
I love socially awkward comics.
I have to. Yeah, I know, and mostly, yeah. Anyway, as we're trying to close it down, but like lately, my memory's gotten so bad that I think people could like legit think I have dementia. So I have to like point out the moments where I didn't make the mistake. You know what I mean?
Just so you know, I totally do remember that.
That's right. Yeah,
that's how dementia starts, though. You got to keep yourself sharp, man. I feel you. Right. Everyone knows dementia is a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's all it is. That's really funny. The only joke I have on stage about Mario 64 is about dementia.
Oh, really? How's it? I guess you don't have to. I forgot about this background. That's awesome.
It's about how my grandma had really bad dementia, and I didn't know how to gauge that in my life, because the saddest thing that had happened to me so far in my life was someone erased my save on Super Mario 64. I was like, so I understood the concept, kind of. It's like Mario didn't recognize me either.
Very good.
It's great.
It's very, very good.
Well, this has been All Who Wander Are Lost with Lars Soderlund, Chad Johnson, and special guest Kyle Adams. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Lars. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we will see you next time.
Awesome. Thanks.